Hey everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Linko. Today we're going to talk about Linko. We're going to look at Chainlink on the daily chart against the US dollar. We're going to look at it on the weekly chart. We're going to look at the Gaussian Channel, some RSI movements of it, and see what levels we could potentially be looking at to the downside if we are to initiate a pullback. We're going to look at, let's just start right now. The daily chart for Link. What do we got? Well, right now, nice bullish candle so far. If we close like this is a good sign. You want a long wick on the bottom. That is bullish. Momentum's pushing you up. So on the moving averages, we want to hold our 21-day to start getting more bullish. 2450 roughly right now today. We want to hold that certainly for today's close. We don't want to be closing below that. If we want to look at more, let's say we are starting a pullback, right? Say this is our local top at $30.50 roughly. And say we're starting a pullback. Where should we look for the downside? I'm glad you asked. Let's look at our Fibonacci tool. Swing low to swing high. They're roughly right there, okay? All right, let's zoom out so you can see the prices over here. All right, let's remove some of the moving averages. There we go. Hopefully those prices are easier to see. So as we move back here, well, your big key level is going to be the 618. Usually that's called your golden ratio. And usually if you could hold that level and move back to the upside, that would be a great bullish move. So you can see these other levels are going to probably be key as well. So we want to, as we go down, now I'm not saying we're going down for sure to these levels, but if we don't reverse here sometime at, say we don't reverse at 0.38 at around $24, if we don't do that, then the next level would be down here. If we don't reverse here, then we'd probably reverse here. But we could certainly go back to the upside immediately, right? None of this has to play out. Just giving you ideas of what to watch for if we do, in fact, continue the downwards movement. So this $20 level would, roughly $20 would also coincide with our ultimate high back in last year, right? The $20. Also, look, what else do you see? Well, previous support, aka right here, support here, breaks right there, becomes resistance. Resistance. Flip it again, resistance again right here. Break through it, come back, will often hold as support. So that would be the big level, right? You have your Fibonacci retracement right at the same level as this key here, this key here, key here, key here. We want to hold this again. That would be where I'm going, well, me personally, yeah, I'll be adding to my position if we get down to this level. Now, it's often wise to, if you have some extra cash on the sideline and you're looking to come back in, have that order in now in case you get a big wick, right? Wicks can last seconds. So if you're looking to get in, I would put that order in right about now. And then if you're worried about, well, what if it keeps dropping? Put your stop loss right under it, okay? See this key consolidation level? This is how you do it. So if you want to have your order in around 20, put your stop loss in right below these levels, because if we break this, it's likely we're going down here. So you risk minimal to the downside, but you have a lot of potential to gain. What if it wicks to $20 and then bounces immediately to, the next 24 hours bounces back to 23 or 24 or higher? It can certainly do that. It has done that in the past. So you don't want to be getting left out in the cold, certainly if you know this information. And it's really frustrating, speaking from experience, to have an idea in your head and then not follow through with it, right? And you see it play out perfectly as your plan crumbles. All right, so what other charts do we have? Let's look. The Gaussian Channel, which we covered on the last video, but the 5-day update, we still have 8 hours till we close this candle on the 5 days. Let's see where, right now we're kind of in indecision. See the wick on top and the wick on bottom, pretty similar. So we have support at this median line, 23.55, so that'll help. If we break that, we'll cover it more in depth, but right now let's focus on holding support at 23.55 on a 5-day Gaussian. Our top line is still at 32.50, so we really want to test that. More oftentimes than not, doesn't always play out, but as you break the median line going to the upside, you're often going to test that top line before, coming back down or breaking back through it to the other way, right? Odds are. You got to play the odds. So Link on the Bollinger Bands. Well, look where we at here. The bands are closing, so that means less volatility is likely, right? It's not going to have massive price swings. Although, you could see this would be a pretty big price swing from $21 to, $29. It's pretty big. But look what I like. What I like here on the daily chart, look at this wick right to this median line, 24.88. So let's watch this. If we close above here, that'll be a nice bullish sign, right? Let's hope for that today. We'll see where this candle closes. Obviously, we'd like to close, way back up here, or proceed to just continue up the stairs as we've been doing the past several weeks. Let's get to our RSI for Link. Look at this 5-day. During drawing trend lines, I like to have 3 touch points on anything. So we have 1, we have 2, and we just made 3. Look at this. Perfect symmetrical line going down the stairs. We have to break this. This is on a 5-day. So if you change it, which we'll do in a minute, this line will obviously change because it's different closes, right? But I would like to see us break through this and then hold it as support, or just break through it altogether and continue to the upside. So if we change it to the weekly, right, we only have, maybe basically 2 touch points we could probably get. At this point, you have this one, right, and you have that one. So not a very strong trend line, right? And then you could also draw down here. So trend lines are subjective, as I always say. But I like 3 touch points before you can really draw one. So weekly doesn't really help us much. How about the 3-day? Well, again, 2 touch points maybe. Yeah, you're not going to get more than that, right? So like one here, one here. No trend line. I wouldn't do it. 3 touch points is what I would like to see to have a strong trend. And even the dailies, okay, so you might be able to get 3 here, but that's basically a horizontal line almost. So the 5-day, you could switch charts around. You want to look for something that catches your eye, pops out at you, and then watch that trend, okay? So you can jump around. That's fine. But daily, we're still looking okay. We're elevated, right? You can go back and Link's history on the daily, and it seems like really if we're above like that 55 level, Link can pretty much be bullish. You can kind of see this this little I would say like this gap right in here. If you look at it, tends to be kind of the gray zone, and if you're above it, Link's doing pretty well. If you're below it, Link tends to not be doing so well. So right now we're still good. We can certainly come back down in it, but you could see a lot of areas where it's like decision time once we're in this area, right? Look at here, resistance again, came back down and bust through it. So if we come back down, let's try to hold somewhere in here over the next the rest of this week. So that is what I would be looking for Link going forward, at least for the rest of this week. Let's see what our moving averages show for, let's put on the weekly. So our 21 week, I'll actually hide this, and then we can put on our support band here. So this top red line is going to be our 20 week simple moving average. Bitcoin's well above it now. Maybe we're going to test that for Bitcoin, so we want to watch that as well. But we need Link to close above that as well, which is currently 27.23 as of today. The weekly EMA, this is the 21 week EMA exponential moving average down here, 20 week simple moving average up here. We need to get above this band and start holding it as support. And you can see once you start holding it, as of back here, you can really start getting bigger moves, right? Link needs to get above this and hold it to stop doing this sideways choppy chop, right? We want to get above it, hold it, and then start moving upwards. You can get your big moves once you're about, I like 10, 20% above this band area to where you can really start getting bullish on a coin. Okay, so that's what I'm watching for the weekly, for the daily. That's Link in a nutshell. So hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Like the video. If you haven't already, I appreciate it. 57 gold stars to you. Follow, like, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, Patreon. Everything's linked in the description below. My name is Chase. Have a great day. May the Link be with you.